Hi, RD Barry here. Welcome to episode 71 in my Let's Play of Final Fantasy 12. Alright, okay, well, off screen I leveled myself up to every character at level 32. I also filled in a bunch of licenses and whatnot, and I don't think I'm really done yet. I want to get really good and leveled for the next part of the storyline. I'm a little fatigued with being underleveled with the main stuff here. So I'm gonna keep going to level 30. I'm not sure how high, probably not to 40, but somewhere in the mid to high 30s, I think, and that way I'll be at least as high level as the enemies in the Phone Coast, and beyond, I hope, at least for a while, because I know there are some tough battles coming up. Anyway, but what I wanted to do this time was a side quest. It's an optional side quest, but it does involve a boss, so I am putting it in the main part of the playthrough here. And the way we get things started is we talk to this Banga over here, Rimzat. Yeah. I don't know why who he thought he was waiting for. But apparently it was for me, by coincidence. Right. Yeah, he's been sent to study the sandstorms, which, yeah. And he talks about this long trail that goes through the north of the Westersand, but he needs some help to get through there, and right. And in order to do that, he wants to talk to this guy named let's see. Yeah. XII. Right. Sits atop the fountain in the central square there. Okay. But he can't talk to him directly because this guy is an Imperial. He doesn't look it, but he is an Imperial, I guess. And Katsi is not a fan of Imperials, just like most of Dalmasca, apparently. So we need to go talk to him. Alright, there he is. Yeah. Well, I guess Katse kind of sees through this whole thing, but whatever. So he talks about growing up and having to deal with the sandstorms, but he has this friend called Northon, and apparently they had together they had a way of dealing with those things. So, but so basically he's yeah, right. So we need to go to Lowtown now. A lot of these side quests in this game kind of send you around to multiple areas here. That's kind of what they do, but if it's all they do, then I'm probably not going to include them, but in the playthrough. But this one is an exception. Let's see. So let's go to O-Town. I've done a practice run of this, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. Mainly just to see if it was doable at level 32, basically. Yeah, I always go over one too many corridors. He's in this corridor over here. Talking to the Banga there. North on. Yeah. What you need is a wind vane. Yeah. Interesting that apparently 2 kids had access to such a piece of equipment, but we won't ask too many questions. Right. So it's in 2 pieces, and the one piece is in the Westersand, and he says something about a dead end with giant Dinus cactuses. And those are the really, really big cactuses. There's some with the yellow flowers on top. Yeah, okay. I don't remember that feature, but okay. Let's go talk to XII again, and maybe he'll be more specific about where we need to go here. So I guess we don't technically have to talk to XII again, because he just fills in additional information. If we know where to go ahead of time, then that's fine. But yeah, we want to head to the dead end northwest of the Shimmering Horizons. Right. So let's check our map here. We want to go to the Westersand. There's Shimmering Horizons, and the dead end is the is that small area to the southeast of Windtrace Dunes. But that is northwest of Shimmering Horizons, so it's that little area on the lower right there. And I don't know if we get any more information if we talk to the Banga again here. Rimzat, yeah, how could I forget that name? Yeah, right, yeah, he just says, good job so far. Right, and I think it could be just a coincidence, but it seems like every time I've been out on this mission, at least getting the wind vein, it's been we've gotten the sandstorms. Like I said, could be a coincidence. I don't know if that's a rule or not. Oh, we got an entite there. These birds are almost Um, almost within our level, I think. Alright, so here we are in the, here we are in the location that we wanted. Let's just clear out some of these enemies here. Okay. And we look for the giant cactuses. Here's one. Yeah, there it does have a yellow flower on top. Interesting. Never noticed that before. Dinus cactoid. Yeah. Well, there are more than one in here. See, there's another giant cactus, but that's not one of the big ones, apparently. Let's try this one over here. Yeah. So we get the wind globe. And now we have to go all the way back to Rabanastre. Alright. So, when we get back, we find all three of those guys together now. I don't think it makes a difference which one we talk to here. Yeah. But, they're telling, Rimzat about this egg they saw when they were, younger, I guess. Yeah, and this is a hint here. This is just about the time the sandstorms started getting worse. So somehow this thing is making the sandstorms more frequent. Yeah, and yes, it is the sand glode, funnily enough. Yeah, it is the one I had. Right, so they put together the pieces and we get, right. Yeah, now you need to decide whether that's what you really want to be doing. Yep. Okay, well, we obtain the wind vein, yeah. Right. So Rimzat was laid off, I guess. He was hired to research the sandstorms, but with no results, they decided to recall him back to Arcades or whatever. Right. So Rimzat is gone. I don't know. I'm pretty sure we never see him again. Kotzi and Northon are back in their usual hangouts, I think, but we don't need to talk to them now. So this is, let's get back to the Westersand, and I'll check my map here. Yeah, now it's now the weather is calm again here. We've got this little, they kind of pointed to this area here. It's at the Rimzat at the very start. He talked about where the location was. So it's at the end of this, well, sort of at the end of this corridor of sand, and then over here at Worm's Nest. And if you tried to go there before, you would get turned back by the intense wind. But with this wind vein, that is not a problem anymore. So we can just, yeah, see, there's another one of those cactuses. Apparently that's a small one. So we can go forward with that. Okay. And we're back into a sandstorm, and it's so windy now. We can't, our map isn't even functioning correctly here. So and I think we went here earlier, and there was a some kind of dinosaur lurking in the background. I don't know if I don't remember if that showed up on screen or not, or in the playthrough or not, but that is something that happened. So we need to get ready for a boss battle, and I will do that off screen here. Alright, okay, so this is a party I'm going with, Balthier, Bosch, and Ash here. I think, you know, we still do not, this enemy is going to be wind weak, by the way, but we still do not have any weak or wind-based enemies, or weapons. I think I'm gonna go with the crossbow with long, because just so we can have a chance of doing slow. But that's I've got a slow gambit in there anyway. I think I will also do a an ally, or at least Bosch. Well, no, let's do ally any haste. Already got one with slow, but I'm not too worried about Balthier's MP at this point, because basically all he's going to be doing is casting slow. And yeah, and guess what? Because he is, the enemy here is immune to just about everything, all the other status effects. I think he I think, or you know what, you know, Ash can cast slow too. Why do I have Balthier then? Right. Balthier can cast haste, and Ash can cast slow. And I think that's all we're gonna need. I could pull out Penelo and have her do protect on everybody, but it may not be worth it. So we'll just have to see how this goes. Yeah. Right. Earth Tyrant. Now this is very similar to the hunt we did. I think it was like 1 or 2 hunts ago. Also in the Westersand. Also a dinosaur type enemy. But different tactics because it uses different different attacks. So let's get going with that. Yeah, so blind is definitely going to be a help because we do not like being attacked. And again, with a enemy like this, you want to spread your party members out as much as you can. So when it does these area of effect attacks, it's not the end of the world. Right. Most of the damage is actually being done by Ash there. Okay, Ash has switched to attacking because she's being targeted, which is actually not so bad because she's casting Drain to cure herself. Right, definitely needed that slow in there. Okay, used up a few potions there. So that was actually pretty close because the potions only kick in when the okay, we got a poison. I wanted use let's have Balthier use a antidote. Oh. See, this is why you don't want you let your healer or mage get too much attention here. Let's see, items, Phoenix down. Okay, let's have Ash, why don't you do a ally Bosch decoy one there, just to keep the attention on Bosch. Right. Okay, I think it's gone into high defense mode now that it's like critical health. So this last bit is gonna be, yeah, alright. Wow. Yeah. So you definitely can't skip any side quests that give you a boss with a fanfare at the end. That's my thinking. It is optional, and you do not really get anything. The only two effects are let me switch back to my normal gambits here. Right. So yeah, not too bad. And actually I might have done that a little bit sooner. But it was challenging enough as it was, I think. And what I was gonna say was when the enemy starts getting high defense mode because of its critical health, then you can, one thing you can do is pull out an Esper and deal with it that way. Anyway, the two effects you get are, first of all, the sandstorms become less frequent in the Estersand, so it goes back to the state it was like years ago when those guys were kids. They still happen, so it's not still something you have to worry about, but it's not something you have to worry about as often. And the other effect is that it opens up this passage to the Estersand. Right. And we have been here before, so we now have a complete circle around. Well, that hasn't been filled in yet. That's interesting. There's still some gray areas there. We now have this complete circle from the Estersand, then across the ferry, Giza Plains, to the Westersand, and then up here, and then back to the Estersand. So we can go all the way around Rabanastre without actually going into Rabanastre if we wanted to. Anyway, I think that's it for that. I think next time I might be finally able to do that barrel retriever hunt. So I might come back with that. We'll see. We'll have to see though. Anyway, barrel retriever next time maybe, or maybe I'll continue on with the rare game, not really sure. Either way, hope you'll join me, and until then, bye.